Hello, everyone, and welcome to ACL's first virtual conference. I'm Claire Ramsbottom, current president of ACL and the executive director of the Colleges of the Fenway in Boston, Massachusetts. We're so excited to finally be kicking this off and waiting to see how it all unfolds. As with many of you, the pandemic has stretched our minds and pushed us into learning new technologies, often just-in-time skills as we try new ways of doing things. And while some of this can be intimidating and exhausting, it can also be intriguing and energizing. To begin with, I want to acknowledge and thank the Conference Planning Committee and everyone who helped to get us to this point. When the board met in February in New York City, we were all systems go for being in Chicago and being hosted by the Big Ten Academic Alliance. By April, we were rethinking all those plans. With leadership from the Virtual Professional Development Committee and all of your colleagues on this slide, who've had a hand in bringing these 4 days to us. And I want to give special thanks to Blair Sullivan at Impact, who's behind the scenes and letting you in right now. I also want to thank our sponsors. Their financial support is important to keeping ACL financially viable. Some of you may already have attended 1 or 2 virtual conferences, and I'm sure that more than a few of you have been planning them. There's some logistics to doing this. A few helpful tips to help ensure that you have the best possible experience in our virtual format. We will provide designated time during each session to take questions from participants. Please use the Q&A function to ask those questions. Any logistical and platform questions can be directed to Blair as the host by using the chat feature. And please, since the presenters may feel like they're talking into an abyss, use reactions to give us a little feedback. Since building connections and creating a sense of community is critical to who we are as ACL and the work we do, I'm going to invite you to participate in a quick little poll so we can get a sense of who's with us this morning. So quickly, into the chat, what organization are you from? Great. It's so great to see so many of your names pop up, even when I can't see you, and to know that so many people that I know are here. So welcome. Good to see you all. I can see that you're here from across the country and in some cases across the world. And we're all in different time zones. So I really appreciate those of you who've had to get up extra early today or stay up late to join us for these sessions. Welcome to all of you. I do hope you've had the opportunity to join our Slack channel and that you will use it as a way to engage with each other. And a special welcome to all who are first-time attendees at an ACL conference. In some ways, we're all first-timers in this new format. So now to get a little serious. Another question I'm going to ask you to share on the chat is, what is the #1 issue on your mind right now? I can see these issues coming in. You can see some of you are all thinking about the same things. It's an incredibly complex time to be in higher ed, or frankly, to be anywhere in the world at this point. Clearly, it's tumultuous times for higher education. The political challenges we face as a country, what some are calling the second civil rights movement, and then we have a pandemic, which will have forever impacts. In a recent Harvard Business Review article published in July, Heidi Gardner and Vian Matvick shared research on collaboration during the 2008 financial crisis. They showed that collaboration leads to substantially higher commercial performance. They looked at partners in global law firms and found that the most highly collaborative workers, the top 10% of collaborators, grew their business and continued that trajectory after the crisis ended. The top 70%, the bottom 70% hunkered down, reduced their collaboration with others. Their business contracted, and they still had not recovered 5 years after the recession ended. Highly collaborative people evolved their approach to their work and to developing their business. They expanded their networks, increased the number of colleagues they worked with. Within all of this turmoil, there are opportunities to rethink how we work, to rethink how we meet, to rethink how we teach. We have seen more groups across our campuses meeting. There's been a clear appreciation for the agility and flexibility that we have, as consortia, have built into our ethos. Our ability to work in this manner is an asset we bring to our campuses. We know how to bring people together, to surface new ideas, to create new models, to find common ground. Institutions are looking for new collaboration models. We have an opportunity to create them, and we need them. Over the course of the next 4 days, we're going to have the time to think together, to learn from each other, to forge new relationships. We'll talk about how we are wrestling with the twin pandemics of racism and COVID-19. We will learn from case studies with leaders from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Amherst, Massachusetts, about working together with local governments. And we'll consider the role the consortia can play in the future of higher education. I want to encourage you to attend as many sessions as you're able to and to engage. Since we will miss our lunches and dinner together, I especially want to encourage you to attend the collaboration showcase this morning and the chai and chat. These are the opportunities when we get to talk to each other about the work we're doing and some of these issues we're facing. And this has always been one of the most valuable parts of ACL for me. So watch the podcast, join in the conversation, and of course, don't miss the happy hour. Bring your favorite beverage. Social psychologist Kurt Lewin's change model tells us to make change when things are unfrozen. We are in an unfrozen moment, and we need to seize it. As we enter into this conference, think about new ways we might work together, not just within our organizations, but across our organizations, across the country and across the world. So here's my last chat question. What's something that you're working on that you would love to share or talk about with others over the next 4 days? Thanks for sharing all those. I can see some of you are already connecting with each other and reading what you've written. And we're going to ask Blair to save the chat so we can come back to this and you can see who's interested in the same topics as you. I really do hope that you'll seek each other out when we have these opportunities in the collaboration showcase. And I also want to remind you, we can still host coffee connections. Anyone with an ACL can pose a question, a topic, select a time, and we'll sponsor a Zoom for you to connect with each other about whatever topic you want to discuss. I have to say it's been a great conversation in the couple that I've hosted on Title IX to learn what others are doing within their consortium. So now we're going to go to the collaboration showcase, and we hope you'll join us to learn about each other's organizations, ACL opportunities, and the Summer Institute. Representatives from ACL committees and ACL organizations will provide insights on their organizations and the work they do for ACL. If you haven't already, check out the posters and watch a couple of short videos, and then hop into a Zoom and chat with your colleagues. The collaboration showcase session will be divided into two 30-minute sessions where attendees can move between Zoom meetings with the presenting consortia and committees. There'll be 5 in the first half and 4 in the second. I hope you've all had a chance to check out those posters and videos ahead of time, but even if you haven't, do consider joining some of the discussions and connecting with your colleagues, old and new. First, I want to turn the mic over to Tom Burgess from Alera Group, who's sponsoring the showcase. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Claire. Thanks for the introduction. I'm really happy to have the chance not only to talk to you, but to sponsor the showcase. So I just got a few minutes. First of all, Alera Group is your sponsor, and most of you probably have never heard of Alera Group, seeing as we are only 3 years old. So we'll start out with a little definition of who Alera Group is. We are 85 once independent agencies who came together under one founding principle. That is the fact that if we collaborate, we are better and we will drive better solutions for our clients. So the idea that collaboration is important, I think we're all simpatico over, and that gives us sort of a springboard to my message for you today. My message is that each of you presumably leads a coalition that has the collective power to combat rising healthcare costs. And it's basically premised on the fact, and all of you have heard or understand the law of large numbers. And the law of large numbers fuels the healthcare industry because it gives the healthcare industry the ability to price risk. The issue comes is that pricing of risk more interested in driving insurer profits, provider profits, or in offering protection to employers. And I think there's an imbalance. And so for everybody here, my message to you is you have the opportunity to take back your numbers. Use the law of large numbers for your own benefit. So if you take back the numbers, you can drive profits out and bring the protection, the cost-effective protection back in. If you take back the numbers, you can get better pricing at administration and pharmacy costs. If you take back the numbers, you can also drive innovative solutions that your members are too small right now probably to take advantage of and utilize. And so in partnering with Amy Cronin in the New York 6 Liberal Arts Consortium, that's just what we did. In 2014, we built a platform called Health for EDU. We actually presented at the last conference, and we continue to have great success. We have tripled our membership, and since the beginning in 2014, we have driven up to 20% out of the multi-million-dollar healthcare budgets of our members. That's a big number. I mean, think about that, 20% of multi-million-dollar healthcare budgets, and that's powerful. So I'd love to have the opportunity at some future date to share with you the concepts that we employ. But for now, I'll send you back to Claire and have a great conference.
Great. Thanks, Tom. So now you have a few minutes to review the showcases and come talk to us at 11:45. Each room in the showcase and each session in the conference has their own Zoom link. And remember, you have all those Zoom links. A URL was sent to you via email yesterday afternoon. So I'm looking forward to everything we're going to learn, to an opportunity to engage with each other. And we'll see you over the next 4 days. Go check out those videos. Thanks.